But you can't be thinking you're gonna go have plastic surgery on a Groupon.
Exactly.
Like you,
The
ain't no plastic surgery on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if it's on sale, 9 times out of 10, you're not supposed to get it from the person that's having a sale on liposuction. Don't do that.
Confessing that although I love my family, most of the time I don't like my family. Everyone in my family.
Take a breath.
Everybody. I feel like I'm angry at everybody in my family. I don't like my family. If they weren't my family, it wouldn't be my friends.
Things are getting downright nasty in the Braxton family. And this time, Tamar took it to a level nobody saw coming. Her show has turned into a straight-up public embarrassment campaign. Tamar Braxton just went live and dragged her own sister, Toni Braxton, claiming Birdman dumped her because of a messed up BBL that allegedly stinks. What did Tamar just say? For weeks, she's been throwing slick shade at Toni, mocking her looks, her relationship, and hinting that Birdman's been pulling away from her for personal reasons. But when she dropped those BBL accusations, everything flipped. She didn't just say Toni had some work done, she claimed it went so wrong that Birdman couldn't handle it anymore. Now, social media's in chaos trying to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes of this marriage. Toni, of course, isn't taking that quietly. Sources say she's furious and ready to clap back in a big way. And if this keeps heating up, we might be looking at one of the wildest, most personal celebrity family feuds ever. Is this still Braxton family values, or has it turned into the Braxton family blues? The drama's just too real. When they said this season was bringing the drama, they weren't kidding. The Kardashians might want to grab some popcorn and take notes because this season has been pure chaos. Just when we thought things couldn't get any wilder, Tamar dropped another bomb, claiming that Toni secretly got a BBL. Not Toni with a BBL, BBL Toni. Now, plastic surgery in Hollywood ain't exactly shocking, but what had everyone's jaws on the floor was Tamar claiming Toni's BBL allegedly went so wrong it stank, and that Birdman almost walked out over it. That's not just messy, it's outrageous. Of course, like plenty of celebs in Hollywood, Toni's denied ever getting any work done on her body. She said, "Em do ya kai? Don't you know that it's my booty?" I love somebody. Giving her usual story about how she only got a nose job because she didn't like her nose and wanted a slimmer look. She even admitted to getting a boob job in an interview, saying, "For a girl who just scored a record deal with two of the biggest names in the business, I actually felt very lonely. I'd been wanting to change my nose for years. I wanted it to be less broad. But because of how I was raised, I struggled with the idea of changing my body. And of course, I later got my boobies done. I'd always been built like a gymnast. On top, thunder thighs below." Toni even once said, "I wish I would have had lipo on my inner thighs. I've always hated them." So, according to her, the boob job and nose job were the only procedures she's ever done. But let's be real, a whole lot of people ain't buying that. Fans have been calling BS, saying she's probably had liposuction and a BBL too. And honestly, when you look at the side-by-side pics of old school Toni versus her recent viral photos, it's hard not to notice the difference. Those old throwback shots, she was 90s fine. But now, her waist is snatched and those hips? Way fuller. Fans are convinced it's giving major lipo and BBL vibes. That's when the internet started buzzing, saying Toni might not be telling the whole truth about her surgeries. But hey, she wouldn't be the first celebrity to deny getting a little extra work done. Everyone knows once you start with cosmetic procedures, it can be tough to stop. Still, just when folks thought the drama was cooling off, Tamar jumped out of nowhere and confirmed the rumors herself. Reports claim Tamar's been telling people all about Toni's supposed secret BBL and saying she's been trying to pass it off as her natural body. Now, why would Tamar do her sister like that? Well, insiders say it might have something to do with the bad blood between them. Tamar and Toni haven't exactly been on the best terms lately, and this latest blow-up just made things way messier. Before Tamar could even hit record on that episode, Toni's team reportedly sent a cease and desist, shutting everything down before it even started. But Tamar wasn't about to stay quiet. she fired back, saying that if anyone tries to claim the other sisters turned on her to protect the family, that's not the case at all. Trina and Tawanda quickly jumped in, saying they had no idea Tamar even got hit with that cease and desist, which made it pretty clear Toni handled the whole thing by herself. Now fans are left wondering why Toni's so desperate to stop Ashley from speaking out, and what really went down behind closed doors. The internet is split right down the middle. Some think Toni's just being petty because of her ongoing tension with Tamar, while others believe she might be protecting someone close to her. Either way, that move sent Tamar over the edge, and she promised to get her revenge. And that's exactly what led to the wild BBL allegations. You'd think Tamar would stop there, right? For sisterhood's sake? Nope. Clearly, you don't know Tamar. She's as bold and dramatic as they come. Instead of backing off, she doubled down and claimed that Toni's BBL allegedly went so bad that Birdman almost divorced her over it. Now it's looking like Tamar is on a full mission to drag her sister all the way. Fans can't stop talking, and everyone's wondering what's really happening behind the scenes of the Braxton family. This drama's getting nastier by the minute. Remember when Toni supposedly filed for divorce from Birdman just 2 days after saying "I do"? Yeah, that wild story wasn't just gossip, it actually happened. Reports claim Toni allegedly separated from Birdman only 48 hours after their wedding, and less than a month later, she went full throttle, filing for divorce and saying the marriage was irretrievably broken with zero chance of fixing it. That bombshell shocked everyone, especially since this wasn't Toni and Birdman's first rodeo together. You probably remember their breakup back in 2019, but what happened after that had people raising serious eyebrows. Birdman reportedly claimed that by 2023, Toni started making moves to reconnect. She allegedly sent him flirty messages, dropped little hints, and made it clear she wanted another spin around the block with him. Birdman even joked it felt like the breakup never happened, that Toni was determined to slide back into his life. At first, Birdman wasn't having it. He said he'd already moved on and was focused on his own lane. But Toni didn't give up that easy. She kept reaching out, showing up, and reminding him of all those old memories. Eventually, those old feelings Birdman swore he'd buried started creeping back up. Her persistence finally paid off, and the two rekindled their romance like no time had passed at all. After about a year of dating again, they decided to make it official and tied the knot on August 8th, 2024. But just when everyone thought it was a fairy tale reunion, Toni shocked the world, filing for divorce out of nowhere. At the time, the tea was still brewing, and people started whispering that maybe she was after Birdman's money, especially since she'd reportedly been facing some financial struggles of her own. Drama, drama, drama. It didn't help that rumors started flying about Toni allegedly trying to walk away from Birdman with a $160 million divorce payout after being married for less than a month. When fans heard that number, the internet completely lost it. People couldn't stop arguing over whether that amount was fair or totally out of pocket. Even 50 Cent jumped into the mess, calling her out on Instagram with his usual wild humor, saying, "Now watch, women are gonna say, well, if you stuck around for 16 years, you'd want to be paid for it too." That comment sent social media into chaos. Toni got dragged hard, with folks labeling her a gold digger. But with what's come out since then about Birdman supposedly wanting to leave because of that rumored botched surgery, some fans are now saying her reaction might have come from a place of anger and embarrassment. If that story has even a bit of truth to it, maybe she threw out that sky-high number just to hit back emotionally after feeling humiliated. Insiders claim Toni later calmed down and called off the divorce altogether. One even said she allegedly filed first because she found out Birdman was about to do it himself. And she didn't want to look like the one being left. She wanted to stay in control of the story and keep her pride intact. After all, being married for 2 days isn't exactly something you brag about. Thankfully, they managed to patch things up afterward, and from what people say, she might have taken care of those health rumors too. Now it looks like everything's fresh, fixed, and fine. At least for now. We probably wouldn't even know half of this tea if Tamar and Toni hadn't gotten into that explosive fight. But hold up, because it didn't stop there. Everyone knows Toni doesn't back down. She loves to give as good as she gets. According to insiders, she clapped right back at Tamar by dragging her over her messy situation with her ex-fiance, JR. And when I say Toni hit the mark, I mean it. It's only been a few months since Tamar herself admitted that JR wasn't just cheating on her. He allegedly stole her jewelry and gave it to his side chick. That's a whole different level of disrespect. But it gets worse. Reports say JR was also allegedly fooling around with Tommy Lee while still dating Tamar. Talk about scandal. Tommy even bragged that he didn't cut off those other women for her. After Tamar tried to come for her, Tommy straight up said that JR had been out here spilling Tamar's business and running his mouth.
Is that is your man, as you call it. That is your man. He knew it was a situation with me and you. And he was down. He was down to play op games. I wouldn't take nothing like that serious, my love. That ate my ass, and I sent him on his way. It wasn't, you don't want me to expose how you were saying that you kicked her out and she went back to her mother's house. Not Mrs. Braxton. Not Mrs. Singer with the sold out tour that JR also told me was flex. It was cap. It was she flexing. She don't have no sold out. Between me and you was his exact words. The tour not sold out. He said you was messy. He said you went back to your mother's house. He told me a lot of things that he shouldn't tell a stranger. I just met this man less than a week. Love, if
the whole situation was absolute chaos. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing, and the internet turned into one big circus. Everybody was questioning Tamar's choices. Like, how could she stick around after that? The craziest part? JR allegedly did all that within just a week of meeting Tommy. He knew about the drama between her and Tamar, but still went ahead, got involved, and started sharing Tamar's secrets. Wild behavior. At that point, Tamar should have dropped his so-called white chocolate self and walked away. But anyone who knows Tamar knows she doesn't take advice from anybody. And that's exactly why this drama just keeps spinning out of control. So Tamar kept doing her own thing with her man, who just so happened to be everybody's man. Eventually, JR ended up dumping her and had her spiraling all over Beyoncé's internet like never before. Since then, most folks had moved on and almost forgotten the whole situation, until Toni brought it right back up with that shady "isn't this you" moment. She hit Tamar where it hurt, especially after Tamar tried to come for her relationship. These sisters really don't hold back. When they bring the drama, they bring it heavy. But here's the thing. Tamar just pulled off the ultimate family sabotage, and Toni's not letting it slide this time. The real question is, how far are these sisters willing to go before someone finally loses it? Because if this tea keeps pouring, it's not just staying on TV. It's about to explode in real life. Ain't no drama like family drama, and the Braxtons always take it to the next level. Whatever happens next is guaranteed to leave everybody completely shook. If you're loving this wild Braxton saga, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more drama-filled updates. You don't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.